Yeah, we bring reviews of Your Howse, talk to our dudes of Your Howse. I bring my views of Your Howse, wrestling truths of Your Howse. We talk to you in Your Howse, we keeps it cool in Your Howse, we keeps it cool in Your Howse. I'm spitting truths in Your Howse. Yeah. Mark's hating on his fans, Becky's niche on the man. Play with two like a lions, household a dangerous alliance. I am a diamond like Cody, and I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
Fuck this shit! It's all about podcasts these days.
This is Leo Rush, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and you are listening to the In Your Howse podcast.
This is Austin Theory of Evolve, and you're listening to the In Your Howse podcast.
This is AEW's Darby Allin, and you're listening to In Your Howse podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your Howse, starring Alakan House and my man, Michael Hutchison. That's Mikey Hutch. This is the People's Podcast. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boys, Con and Hutch, ready to get it at work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, that is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Ooh, where is the clock? I'm checking the time because last time that I checked, In Your Howse was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that work, round the clock. You guys already know what it is. Oh yes, the director is in the building. Me and Hutchy Hutch are about to kill him. How are you doing, bro? Man, it's been a minute.
Hello? Are we on?
We are on.
Are we green? Do we have sound? Is the computer working? Is the dribble running in the wheel? Like, I mean,
It's all running, bro.
Man, good shit. Ladies and gentlemen, again, mostly gentlemen, we're back.
Yes.
Con's back. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. I'm back.
Yes, Hutchy Hutch is back.
And guys, look, man, I'm going to tell y'all, 2020, here we are, right? Y'all, you guys, the long-time listeners of this show, become a fan, obviously, of Con. Con is just like, Con's everywhere. Can we talk about, hold on, you know what? We ain't going to talk about me. We're going to talk about Con. Every time I get on my damn Facebook, Con's face is everywhere. Everywhere. The director with that damn megaphone, I swear. Like you've already turned heel in my book, bro.
Over like Grover, bro.
Man, anyway, but it's great to be back, and I'm looking forward to 2020 and what we're gonna do, and what opportunities are gonna come our way, and what we're gonna make for ourselves too.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So on this hiatus, we appreciate you guys coming back to us. We haven't forgot about you guys. It's been driving us absolutely fucking bonkers insane.
Yes.
I know you guys, the elite household members out there, have been lost without us going into your ears at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
we have been lost. I don't want to speak for myself and everybody else on the show, but we've been lost not being able to give it to you.
Facts.
It's odd that this has become kind of a way of life, man. And man, I felt lost, bro. Like, I'm not a praying man, but I'm like, listen, any deity that doesn't have me blocked right now, if they want to like somehow like fix this computer, and then all of a sudden we had a savior.
We did. Yes,
we did. We did a bearded savior, as it were. They can smoke a hell of a pork shoulder or pork roast or whatever the fuck it is that he does. Like he's an amazing cook and he's a wizard on computers. I think he may have tapped into the Matrix at least 3 times.
Probably. Oh, definitely, man. And we've got it. We got to shout him out, man. You know we have to.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, just to give you guys a little peek behind the curtains. I was like, because again, I love this guy. He's a good friend of mine, a brother, as it were.
Yeah.
And, met my, at my adult job, as it were, my grown-up job.
The shoot.
And I, before the show, I'm like, I'm going to bury him. No, I'm going to talk shit about him. You know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. Not just because, one, he's just a damn good dude. And secondly, you're hearing us now literally because of him.
Facts.
So I'll go ahead and volley it back over to you because I think I've talked enough.
Oh no, bro. You haven't been on the show in like a couple weeks, so I was just letting you go,
man.
Bro.
I miss it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and it feels good. Like I feel like I'm getting back on the bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, pedaling that son of a bitch. I fell down maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's all right. I got it. I got my helmet on. I'm good.
Yes, you got it back. And once you get back on the bike, man, you never forget, man. You never forget. So we're just jumping right back into it. And the man that we're talking about, man, is our buddy Ryan, man. Ryan Stewart. Just all around good dude. He's hit me up for a little bit, trying to come over and help out with the computer because he's seen me. He's seen my woes on the social medias, and you guys out there in the household that follow me, you guys know that I've been bitching about this for about 2 weeks, and I've tried everything that I knew how to do to fix it, and it just wasn't enough. And finally, it just got to a point where I was like, man, I didn't feel right. I know Hutch didn't feel right. A lot of the team didn't feel right pushing out the episodes that we was used to pushing out. So I went over to our buddy Ryan's house, and man, he worked his magic, wiped the computer clean, took off all the things that I needed for the podcast and personal stuff that I needed on the computer, and just wiped it clean. I was over there at his house just chilling, kicking it for a few hours, he's just a good guy. He was just cool to kick it with, so it wasn't like I was just like, oh, I got to sit here and chat with this guy, while he's fixing my computer. It wasn't like that, man. We just kicked it, chilled out, and he showed me his setup, and it was great. And then he fixed mine, and once again, because of him, he's the reason that we're back right now. So Ryan, I know that you're going to be listening to this because I told you we was going to do this, but man, for real, thank you, man. Really, really appreciate it because I wasn't feeling right. Hutch wasn't feeling right. It's just we had to get back, man. We had to get right back to it, and that's exactly what we're going to do, Hutch.
Yep, here we are. We're back again. We are back again. I'm ready to give it to him.
Yes.
Ready to give it. And so much has happened, man. Like, I'm sitting watching shit, and I'm like, fuck, I need to tell people about this. There's people out there. I know there's at least a few people. It's like, man, I wonder what Con and Hutch think about what Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean?
At least a few people was probably wondering.
And I'm sitting here building and just to give you guys an update, the Twitter thing, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing I have not stopped on.
Yeah.
And I'm now currently sitting at 496 people.
Oh, I thought you was already over 500, but yeah, you're right there, bro.
Well, you had it right when you said I'm already over, but I'm not over 500. but I am over. So, anyway.
Oh, man. And so we're going to jump right into it, man, because we've got to give it to them for the 14 different countries across these great United States and locally, right here in Indiana. You guys know who you are. You guys are called the Household, and we definitely couldn't come alone on this one. We had to bring in our other host of the Facebook Live podcast. We're not going Facebook Live today because I didn't want to put all that wear and tear on the computer the first day out. We just wanted to keep it simple. But man, we had to bring on reporter Drake Kennedy. How's it going, bro?
What's going? I've been listening to you two fuckers ramble, like catching up like long lost lovers for the past 10 minutes. But, other than that, I want to talk some wrestling instead of listening to you two flirt for the rest of the show. Damn.
Well, hold on, man. Well, I haven't even got started with you over there, Chin Strap. I love you too, buddy.
Oh, man.
Oh, how sweet.
Missed you too.
Oh, man. So, the first thing we really wanted to talk about, guys, and we kind of chatted a little bit about it. We had a little group chat going on. We wanted to first talk a little Royal Rumble because we're just falling out of what I thought was a pretty good Royal Rumble, and it was a Royal Rumble that saw. Of course, we had the women's and the men's Royal Rumble match. Had a pretty good card too, but I really just want to go right into the actual Royal Rumbles if you guys are down with that.
You're the captain on this magic carpet ride, bruh.
All right. So we'll go ahead and jump right into the women's Royal Rumble match. And first off, before I say anything else, both my picks for each Royal Rumble won. So that's cool. But you know what? The women's Royal Rumble match, I enjoyed it, man. I think it was a good mixture, a little bit of past, a little bit of present, a little bit of future, and some good showings from quite different from quite a number of different talents. So, Hutch, what was you thinking about the women's Royal Rumble match from your perspective, man?
Well, as you said, they did what they typically do.
Yeah,
they bring in faces that usually appear at the Rumble now.
Yeah,
and I can't say that I was a fan of the winner.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the winner either, but it was my pick.
It was, it was, and it wasn't mine. Not at all. I think Shayna Baszler should have won that.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I was hoping.
And I think that would have been very, very interesting to see where they could have went with that. But whatever, it's fine. The men's Rumble made up for it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a good Rumble, man. So Drake, reporter Drake Kennedy, what was you thinking about the women's Royal Rumble from your perspective, man?
Yeah, it was a good show. Everybody came in and gave it their all and put on a really good show. I was really surprised that Shotzi Blackheart got the pop that she did when she came out.
Oh, dude, I was surprised she was there at all.
Right, yeah, completely, yeah. And she got a huge pop that wasn't expected, but I figured Shayna was going to walk away with it, so it shocked me that they did Charlotte. I don't know why all I read online is everybody hates Charlotte, and boo-hoo on Charlotte that, and boo-hoo Charlotte can't wrestle, and boo-hoo Charlotte only is wearing the spot she is because her last name. I don't get it, but I thought it was good. I like the heat that she gets from the crowd.
Oh, and she plays it well. And it's definitely, for me, it's definitely not the fact that I don't think Charlotte can wrestle. You're not gonna hear me say that because she's super talented in the ring, super good. I just thought that she could do a million different things going into WrestleMania because whatever she does, let's face it, we all know that at this point, Charlotte does not need a title. She's bigger than the championships. I think we all know that. So she could have done anything. I just think that it would have been great to see somebody else win it, like a Shayna Baszler, which she was right there at the end. And I think it would have been great to, which I feel like Shayna's already made, but I think it would have been nice to kind of just cement that by putting her right there in position to win that thing, eliminating somebody like Charlotte Flair, and then boom, she can challenge for whatever championship that she wants to going into WrestleMania, and then that would have been a great way to transition her into the main roster. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, Hutch?
Yeah, see that right there. That would have been, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. See, that would have worked for me, and it would have like helped establish somebody else to get somebody else into the mix. The shine is not there on Charlotte anymore, dude. Like I love Charlotte, I do, but it's and everything she does in the ring is great, and she continues to get better.
Yeah,
but the story isn't there. You know what I mean? Because it's like who the fuck does she go after? Bailey? Like really?
Yeah.
Who wants to see that? Do you guys really give two shits about that household? Do you guys can you find any fucks to give about that?
Let us know. Let us know.
Let us know. I mean, other than hoping that Bailey wears shorts, I don't know what else to really hope for in that match.
Right.
I mean, that's the biggest, because every time on my Twitter, that's the biggest buzz about Bailey that I hear, that I see, is, damn, I hope she wears shorts this week.
The Bailey booty.
The hashtag Bailey booty. I'm telling you, it's like a muffin. Just anyway, I digress. It ain't that kind of show.
Oh man, but no, I agree with you there, man. In all seriousness, I agree with you. Now, I saw some reports. And of course, these are just dirt sheets. You can't trust them as far as you could throw them, really. But some reports saying that she was actually going to go for the NXT Championship against Rhea Ripley. Drake, what do you think about that, if that happens?
That'd be cool. I think it would be really unexpected, especially for, the people I bitch about her. Because agreeing with Mike, there is no story. I totally agree with that on people's view of the whole Charlotte situation. There's no place to go with it unless, kind of takes what, Finn does with his promo where he said, I'm tracing back my roots. I'm going back where I started. And that's what she'd be doing. But it'd be cool. I'd enjoy it. They'd put on a hell of a show.
I agree with that. I think honestly that would be the spot to go, in my opinion, because do you want to see Charlotte and Becky? In my opinion, I don't. Do you want to see Charlotte and Bailey? No, I don't. So what could she possibly do that's going to be new and different that'll be cool for WrestleMania? I guess you would have to go to NXT Championship route, because first off, her going back to NXT would help NXT, because NXT, I don't know what they did this week, because the shows just was on, last night. But I know
I'll tell you what they did this week. They did the job, the AEW
again.
It was like 818,000 to 719,000 or some shit.
That's my point. That you literally just said my point for me. They can use a Charlotte Flair on Wednesday nights. You know what I mean? To help legitimize, to help bring more eyes to it, because AEW is still knocking them out, because people are still tuning in to AEW and seeing what's going on. And we'll talk a little bit about AEW here in a little bit. We're definitely going to get to that, but right now we're talking about the Royal Rumble. I just don't know where you really go with Charlotte. Wednesday nights would probably be the best fit for her. I mean, for right now, and I'm not saying it would be the best fit for her. I think it'd be something fresh for her to do, but I think Charlotte Flair would be the best fit for NXT, considering that week after week they're getting slaughtered by AEW. Now, moving right along in this Women's Royal Rumble, I want to talk about somebody who had a really good performance that can't be ignored and really went a long way, and that's Bianca Belair, man. Like, she came in, didn't expect her to be in there, and she lasted a long time and got a lot of eliminations. Hutch, you got something to say about that?
Yeah, I'm sitting there the whole time, kind of sounding like this, going, where in the hell did this come from? Like, I know she's good.
Yeah.
She's great. I'm not going to say she's great yet, because she's still, I always say that, wrestlers, talent needs that moment, that breaks through where you're like, there they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But and she hasn't had that. She's had good matches, but I mean, let's face it, these days, who hasn't had a good match in NXT or WWE?
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yep. That's
if you're there, you can have a good match. So yeah, but it was interesting, because I'm just like, man, and just like she kept just like racking them up.
Yep.
And so yeah, that was interesting to me. So I mean, I can't say that there wasn't somebody, I guess, made there. The thing with Charlotte, I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah, no, I understand, man. But I gotta say, as far as Bianca Belair goes, I think that it was really good that they gave her a really good Rumble performance. Because remember, she has an NXT Championship match next month at NXT TakeOver Portland. So that's going to give her some good shine going into that match. Does she win it? I don't think so. But definitely it raises her stock going into that big match that she has coming up. So, Drake, what are you thinking, man? What do you think about Bianca Belair and her performance in the Women's Royal Rumble?
Same line as you guys. It was I wasn't sure she was going to be in there, but it was a surprise to see her there, and a surprise to see her go as long as she did. I didn't expect her to be the one that was, the Iron Woman of the group for NXT for
sure,
the Rumble. But yeah, I agree. That wasn't like that moment where she stood out and was like, "Oh, that's what she needed." I was like, but that definitely put a step up in her game and got her noticed some more, I think, and definitely puts some heat behind her, some momentum for that pay-per-view next month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. She's got a bright future, and I think they did the right thing with her. And I think the reason that they did it, the timing was right. I think for her to have that sort of performance, the timing was right going into that next match. So now people are going to take Bianca a little bit more seriously. But she came in at number 2, but Alexa Bliss came in at number 1, and she really lasted a long time. That was I thought that was pretty good. I didn't hold out any hope that she was going to win it, but Little Miss Bliss, she lasted for a while. Hutch, what was you thinking about the distance that she went to, and did you think that she had a chance, or were you like, they're just giving her a good showing?
That right there, that's exactly what it was. It was a good showing, and because I think, she's been through some stuff, man, and she earned that showing.
Yeah.
And it was good enough. It was something that I could say that it didn't stand out as bad to me.
Yeah.
She looked good in there. She did her thing, and yeah, I was good with it.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought she had a good showing. I mean, like I said, I didn't expect her to win or even go, super far at the end. But I thought it was a good Rumble, good pacing. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was sitting over there watching it with Miss Fabulosity, and I was like, it was one thing that we've said on this show numerous times before, and I'll bring it back for any of you guys that are new listeners or you haven't listened to us in a while and you might have forgot. It kept me off my phone, and that was a big thing. We had a chance to see Naomi return. That was pretty cool. To see Naomi come back. Did either of you guys miss Naomi, or did you guys even care? Or Drake, what were you thinking about seeing Naomi?
I'm glad they didn't do the whole glow entrance. I mean, that was pretty much my entire thought. It was cool to see her back. It was refreshing. I was getting tired of seeing her every week. That was just me, but
right.
Yeah, it was cool to see her back, and she put on a right. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing her back a little more now that they put her back in the Rumble, and that's what sometimes people need, to get off TV and be forgotten for a minute and come back and be bigger. So
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Hutch, what was you thinking about her Rumble performance as far as doing her little, acrobatic spot and everything? I think we all knew she wasn't going to win, but she's pretty much like the Kofi Kingston of the Women's Royal Rumble, where you can expect a crazy spot out of her. Hutch, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it was cool to see her back. Again, I've always been indifferent with her. Really,
yeah.
I mean, because again, go back. I gotta stay consistent, man. It's in your house canon. I've said I've always been kind of indifferent with her, and I like her as a person, and she's a good talent. It's just who is she?
Yeah.
Like, who is she? Other than, like Drake said, like, I'm over like the raves thing, like the thing,
yeah.
like I'm good on that. Like, but she's got a dope look and all that. It's a great thing, but it's like, you've been around for years now, but yet, like, I don't really know who you are.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at with her.
I agree with that as to where it's like, and let's face it, she's established. I mean, she's had a WrestleMania moment, multiple time women's champion, but I think it's just one of those things where there's a disconnect because she's just Naomi, and we don't really know who Naomi is outside of the glow thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So,
That's where I'm at.
It's cool. Like I said, no hate towards her or anything. It was nice to see her. I was definitely happy to see her, but I just think it kind of was what it was. Moving right along, man. This Mandy Rose story with Otis is just moving right along, man. We think Mandy gets eliminated, then Otis is right there. She lands on top of him, doesn't touch the floor. She eventually gets eliminated, her and Sonya, after Sonya inadvertently hits her, and I think that's definitely going to be leading to something that we'll see on SmackDown. And we're recording this, guys, on a Thursday evening, but when you guys listen to it, it'll be Friday morning at 6 a.m. So SmackDown will be on the night of, and I think that we'll see the continuation of that story. And I gotta say, Hutch, I enjoy the Mandy and Otis storyline. It's one of the things on WWE that makes me smile. What do you think about it, man?
I swear, if she breaks that man's heart, so help me God, I will get in my whip. That's right, I said my whip. I will drive in my whip to Stamford. And I'm going to talk to somebody. Somebody's going to hear me. Because you are not, you harlot. You are not going to break that man's heart.
Otis is so lovable.
If she breaks that man's heart, man, she breaks mine.
Same, bro.
And I'm not ready for that.
Man, I think I really feel like Sonya is going to be like that hating-ass best friend. You know, the best friend that don't got no man. So she hates on her friend that got a man. And so she always got to be messing shit up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it definitely there's something there with her unintentionally she didn't eliminate her, but she hit her and threw her, and she got knocked off the apron, landing onto Otis, and then Sonya got eliminated, who also landed onto Otis, and he just couldn't handle both women, and they both went down, which sucked. But I'll throw it on over to Drake, man. What are you thinking about this little Otis Mandy Rose thing, man? Where you at on that?
Bro, it's probably my favorite thing on SmackDown, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was calling it maybe a month or two before that they were going to do this because I follow Otis on Instagram, and every post, like a month or two before this storyline, he was, posting like, working out for my peach at Mandy Fat with like all the peach emojis and stuff, and I was like, oh my, they need to do something with this cat.
Yeah.
So I've been rooting for it since day one, and I love it. And my only hope is we don't get swerved and Otis ends up getting cucked, because we all know Vince has that cuck fetish.
Yowie wowie!
I thought they were going to do it with Dolph. They can really go for that cuck fact,
Oh, they love it, man. They love it. When Dolph came in there, like I said, I thought that's where they were going with it, but they didn't. But so they continued the story between Liv Morgan and Lana, which followed up on Monday Night Raw with a kind of pointless match. I really thought they were gonna do that at like Elimination Chamber or something, but they just blew it off. Seems as though they blew it off on Monday Night Raw. I don't want to get too much into it, but I'll go ahead and let Hutch give his thoughts on the whole Lana Liv Morgan thing from the Rumble going into Monday Night Raw.
Liv Morgan kind of looked like one of the chicks from Mortal Kombat. That's about the only thing that's about the only thing that I can think of, really. Again, sorry, I'm struggling to find any fucks to give about it. I'm sorry, I got nothing, guys. Like, again, I'm already checked out of it. Like, we're already past that. We've jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Is that how you say the phrase? We
Yeah.
jumped the shark.
Yep.
Yeah, we're there with it. Like, it needs to just be done. So yeah, that's all I got, guys.
Oh no, I understand, man. 'Cause
That old saying, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, and we
Yeah.
try not to be that kind of show. I like Liv. Even though it's not what a lot of people thought she was going to come back as. I still like it, and I still think there's something there eventually, but it's just not with this.
Yeah.
So I hope I want it to be done.
Oh,
All
man.
done.
They
Please
totally just said, yeah, forget about the fact that we teased the lesbian storyline. Just forget it. Now we're just gonna make them fight. So, I don't know. Just WWE being WWE. So I guess. But Charlotte Flair wins the whole thing. She is going on to WrestleMania. Is what it is. I don't think there's really much more to really, jump on besides the fact that we don't know who she's challenged yet. There's some rumors that it's going to be NXT champion Rhea Ripley. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But really, I want to move on to the men's Royal Rumble match, which there's a lot to unpack there. And I'll go ahead and let Hutch start it out because it starts with his man, Brock Lesnar. He comes in, and this dude is just straight cleaning house. And people were like, I was on the internet. People were getting kind of pissed at the first part of that Rumble. What was you noticing about that, Hutch?
Well, it was so funny. It was a tale of two Rumbles, man.
Yeah.
And I loved it because here comes Big Homie. The Big Homie. The most legit son of a bitch in WWE today. Shut up, Drake. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about him. Brock Lesnar, right?
Flirt.
Shut up, dude. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Anyway, I knew he was about to murk the whole squad, right? I knew he was about to steamroll everybody, and I'm just sitting here watching it, laughing, getting on my timeline on Twitter. Everybody on the timeline talking about this shit boring as hell.
Man,
This
that's
shit
exactly
boring.
what I saw.
This shit boring as fuck. Fuck Brock Lesnar. He ain't shit. And I'm sitting there going, Brock Lesnar's just fucking everybody up to get in the ring. What are you talking about?
Wrecking.
What are you talking about? He's playing WWE 2K on easy mode. Murking everybody. Okay? So, and then finally, and I'm sitting there just thinking, this is building to something.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, whoever takes out Brock Lesnar is going to win the Rumble. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because Brock Lesnar wasn't going to win it. That doesn't make sense. Brock Lesnar was put in that match to build to his match at Mania, which is exactly what happened, because then we got the second part of the Rumble. The Hero came out.
Yep.
Another talent that is believable. That has a look. If you saw this son of a bitch out in public, you're like, that dude is somebody. If you're not a wrestling fan and you see Drew McIntyre out in public, he's going to stand out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's very interesting the way they did this, the way they brought him in and the way they had him take out Brock. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was tremendous, and it was like one of my favorite moments of the Rumble. There's another one I'm sure we're going to get to.
Oh yeah.
That was just, again, never say never in wrestling, man.
You never say never, man. You really don't. And before we really dig our heels into Drew McIntyre, and then that other surprise that, of course, everybody knows, we'll bring it up. I want to talk more about Brock's performance, because I don't want to hear anybody say that he's not entertaining, because that son bitch is entertaining as hell. I mean, he went in there and, yeah, he killed everybody. I mean, he just straight killed everybody. But I was entertained by it. Watching him, like, the interaction with him and Shelton Benjamin, that was money. Seeing him when we saw the return, a cool moment for me was seeing MVP come back. But it was like,
hey, it's MVP. He's making it, and he's gone. Like,
Right.
like he was in, and he was out. And there was just a lot of cool moments. I really thought, like, when Eric Rowan came out, I was like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. But, man, he went out quicker than most guys that was in there with Brock. Like, Kofi lasted longer. So I want to throw it over to Drake, man. What was you thinking about Brock's actual performance and his 13 eliminations in the Rumble leading up until when he finally got eliminated?
It definitely served its purpose. It worked tenfold. Because it worked on me. I was one of the people on Twitter bitching about it, just because it was like, man, there's 2 whole minutes of entertainment in this thing, until Drew came out. His performance was really good, though. His interactions with everybody, and it's just like, oh, I don't give a fuck attitude. This is easy. I don't know. It felt like back when you're playing, if you're playing SmackDown versus Raw 2006 on a slobber knocker mode on easy mode.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's literally
what
it was. Just what it felt like to me watching. I was like, oh, this is boring, but how long can they keep it going? I mean, it popped the hell out of my living room, out of Ariel and I, when Drew kicked the shit out of him over that top rope. It was great.
Oh, bro, got me off my couch.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It popped me,
Yeah.
and I love Brock. Because I knew I'm like, okay, as soon as I seen that happen, bang, I'm like, okay, we're getting Drew and Brock at Mania. I'm in.
Yep. And that was my pick. Drew. I didn't know how we were gonna get there, but I'm totally with you, Hutch. When he had that, which man, they gift that, and I saw it all over the internet. And talk about a picture perfect Claymore. He just made it look so pretty with that elimination. It was all perfect. And for a second, nobody's even talking about the fact that Ricochet is the one who low-blowed Brock that led to him getting that elimination. So I don't know if Ricochet is gonna get some of that Lesnar smoke or or what, but definitely an assist to Ricochet that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about. But the Claymore kick, though, the Claymore kick was picture perfect, looked good, eliminated Brock, and I really liked the way that Drew kept looking back at Brock as he was continuing in the Rumble, like, yeah, I got you, motherfucker, I got you.
I love that you brought that up, because I just thought that was absolutely badass.
Yeah.
Like it was subtle. I mean, I guess you can't say subtle, because I mean it was obvious that he did it. Yeah. But I mean, it was a nice touch.
It was. I enjoyed it, man. I really thought I like Brock's believable. Drew's believable. This is a match that I want to see, and I really think, I mean, let's face it, like, we know what's happened in Drew McIntyre's career. He was the chosen one for a while, had probably one of my favorite themes in the history of WWE with Broken Dreams. And then if everybody remembers, let me take you back a little bit. He got into that altercation with his ex-wife. Then his push got killed because his ex-wife was basically abusive to him, and Drew didn't fight back. You know what I mean? Which, why would he? You know, I mean, we're not going to get into all that. But Vince caught wind of it and pretty much killed Drew's push because he was like, oh, no, you're getting over here getting beat up by a girl. Why should I think that you're believable? Then eventually it led to him getting thrown into stuff like 3MB, eventually released, and Drew McIntyre had to totally recreate who he was from the ground up as Galloway in different promotions. Finally got the call back to come to NXT, and the guy, as good as he is, never's been in a WWE title match, never's been in a Universal title match. You know, he's a former NXT champion, but just never was quite there, or was never able to quite get there. So you could see the real emotions when he finally won it. And so let me ask you this, and then we're going to get to the middle part. Drake, what was you thinking? Because I know he was your pick too. When Drew McIntyre won and you saw the genuine emotions that he had, what was going on through your mind when you were seeing that, bro?
I was really happy for him. I try to I don't know. I love this business, so I love seeing people who genuinely love the business and what they're doing and being in that ring. And that's what the boys and the girls in the locker room are working for, that moment right there.
Yeah.
And the performance at Mania. And, I mean, it's been so long, and he finally got it. So I don't know. It felt. It was a heartwarming moment watching it. To me, at least, it just felt it's like, you did it, kid. You finally did it. Enjoy it, soak it in. But yeah, it was awesome. I'm happy for the guy.
Oh, I'm definitely happy for him, man, because I just saw that real emotion, and like, I followed you because I've always been a Drew McIntyre fan from the time that he was the chosen one, and when his push got killed like that, it was like, oh, this sucks, because he got, he was, I always, as soon as I saw Drew McIntyre, I was like, man, he reminds me of, at the time when he was the chosen one, he reminded me of like a young Randy Orton, just tall, lengthy, great looks like a champion, looks like a star right off rip, just looking at him. And to see him and doing something like 3MB, I mean, it's cool that he could, not take himself so seriously to do something like that, but I just felt like he never should have been doing that at all, because Drew McIntyre just always looked like a star to me, so it was just, for me, that was nuts. But it's time to get to the big part here. The big part here, of course, we talked about who won it, but we got to talk about a huge elephant in the room. We all know what it is. There's no hiding it. There were rumors of it for quite some time. I mean, the rumors were heavy. People were like, "Oh no, this picture is from 10 years ago. There's no way, it's not happening." So, we're moving forward in this Royal Rumble. Number 21, Hutch. Number 21. That hits. We get the countdown. All of a sudden quiet. And then, you think you know me. And all of a sudden, out comes Edge. One of my all-time favorites, period. I mean, period. I've always loved Edge. He's always been one of my favorites. He comes out. Dude looks like $1 million for his age. 46, I think he is. I mean, he's just cut to all hell and looks great. And just raw emotion on his face, man. And you can just tell he's overwhelmed. What was you thinking, Hutch, when you saw Edge come out at number 21, bro?
Never say never in wrestling.
Yep.
I mean, that just, it's incredible. And I don't want to hear anybody talk any shit about Edge being an old guy and being a veteran, taking the young people's spot, or any of that stuff 6 to 8 weeks from now.
Yep.
That kind of talk, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm usually not that guy, but if I see that stuff on my timeline, I'm gonna unfollow you. I want to unfollow you. Like, you're gone. I'm gonna let you go.
Dude, that's because that's just downright spreading toxicity, and I'm going to jump in on that real quick, too, because I got a lot to say about that, and then I'm going to let you get back to it. Please don't do that, y'all. Please don't do that. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, now he's on there every week. Oh, he hasn't earned his spot. He hasn't been wrestling in the last 9 years. Do you guys think for a second, guys, please just listen, that if Edge could be in that ring, don't you think that he would have been there in the last 9 years? He would have. Let him enjoy this ride, guys. Please don't do that, because all you're going to do is you're going to piss me off, you're going to piss Hutch off, and you're going to piss a lot of Edge fans off, because nobody wants to see that, man. And I know that there's going to be people on there that's going to have a contrary opinion just to have it. I get it. You guys just want to be hot take. You want to be Mr. Hot Take. I get it. Just leave Edge alone and let him enjoy this run. That's all I got to say about that. Hutch, go ahead and jump right back in.
Yeah, man. You said it best, brother. I mean, look, man, the way that the way that this all went down, man. I mean, again, it's rare, but see, like, it frustrates me too. So there's something about WWE that frustrates me though, Con.
Yeah.
And I got to bring it up. As good as the Rumble was, WWE can't put two good shows together.
Yeah.
And because Raw really wasn't all that great.
No, I expected it to be better after the Royal Rumble.
Like, why would you? I mean, I know we're kind of like bouncing off here, but I just got to throw this out. Like, okay, you had this great moment with Brock and McIntyre, right, in the Rumble. Then you bring him out on Raw. You had that moment on Raw, and then that's it. They're not going to be back for the rest of the show.
Right. Yep.
You mean to tell me that you've seen people take 4, 5, 6 F5s? Drew McIntyre takes one, and he ain't going to be looking for Brock? Where was the storyline thread on that throughout the show?
Agreed.
I understand they got a lot of time to burn between now and Mania, but what the hell? That just didn't make sense, both from a rating standpoint and from a logical character standpoint with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's a warrior, is he not? That's what he's supposed to be.
Yep.
But he's just gonna get dropped like that, and that's it.
I agree.
So yeah,
I agree with that.
So I'll volley it back to you. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that, man. I do, and it's just like you said, Monday Night Raw. But I've gotten used to the fact that Monday Night Raw, it's right back to where it's at as far as being background noise. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. It hasn't, like, it is what it is. Like, I'll watch it just because it's something to do on a Monday night, unless there's something that is just dragging my attention away from it, which has happened. It has happened. There's just like, I'm not feeling Monday Night Raw, so I just won't watch it. If I don't feel like watching it, I'm not gonna kill myself to go through this 3 hours to watch something I'm really not digging on. So, like I said, it was a good Rumble. Seeing Edge come out was amazing, and to see him go to the end was great too. So let me ask you this, because you're a little bit, you're more from the younger generation there, Drake. So let me ask you this: what was it like for you to see Edge come out at number 21?
What was it like for me? It was surreal. I was a huge Edge head growing up.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about, I don't know, he was super against the grain, rebellious. I really like that. I've always gravitated towards shit like that. And I won't lie, a handful of tears came out, just like a handful of tears came out 9 years ago when he announced his retirement on Raw. Like, it was a never say never moment for sure. It was something I never thought I'd see again. I mean, we've heard rumors for that he was going to come back at last year's, but it was so long. I was like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with you guys about, I don't want to hear any bullshit about, Edge being an old guy and he hasn't been here for almost a decade. So why is he getting a spot when there's young cats in here that have been here week to week? That's bullshit. Also, on a side tangent that I've been holding in for weeks, and we have a listener, and I'm not going to out who it is, but you're listening right now. So how dumb do you feel that you were bitching a handful of weeks ago when DDP was wrestling on AEW, and you're like, oh, we got DDP over here, and Johnny Gargano's giving the best promo ever. These companies aren't even comparable. And they got two dudes the same age, and they're doing the same shit, and everybody fucking loves it, but you just got to pick sides. Sorry. But yeah, it was great. It was awesome. I love Edge.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine, man. No, we have the platform here for you to use it, man. So, you know what I mean? That's exactly what it's for. But I thought the Rumble was good. I noticed that they had Roman Reigns play that bait guy again. I think this is the fourth year they've done that, where he's been in the final two, where they're like, they want to tease that Roman Reigns is going to win it, and then he doesn't win it. And like I said, I believe this is the fourth year that's happened. I think just off the top of my head, and Household, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think it happened with Batista, I think it happened with Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, and now Drew McIntyre, I think, is the 4 times that he was the decoy in the Royal Rumble. Hutch, any thoughts on that before we move on to this week's episode of AEW?
Yeah, it's funny why they do that to Reigns. I don't get it, because like they have like eliminate people that then it makes the crowd want to boo him.
Yeah.
You know, and but it was cool though. You know, he did his part well. So I mean, I personally didn't have a problem with it.
Oh no.
So and you know, and I'm sure they'll give him something, you know, to do, you know, going into Mania and shit. So I'm guessing there'll probably be something with you. So it'll be some kind of multi-tag match. Actually, you know what? I've heard something about they may go with him versus The Rock.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
At Mania, I remember hearing some rumbling about that a while back. So that could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I agree with that. I've heard a little rumblings about him and The Fiend. What do you think about that?
Pass.
Yeah, I don't want to see it either. I really don't. I mean, I don't know what The Fiend is going to do at WrestleMania, but I don't want it to be that. So, all in all, like I said, it was a good Royal Rumble. We just wanted to talk about the Royal Rumble matches because for me, those were the highlights. Not to say that the rest of the show was bad. That's not even implying that. But I just wanted to talk about just that, just the Royal Rumble matches real quick before we jump into AEW. And then we're going to take a break. And then we're going to have a short interview with the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph. That's going to be fun. He's going to talk about some of the stuff he's got going on. Probably do that for about 15-20 minutes. But AEW, man. AEW, as you said, Hutch, they put on another good show. They won in the ratings again. But Hutch, Drake, you guys might hate me for this, but I have to put my opinion on there. I have a big-time bitch with AEW, y'all.
I'm ready to hear it. I think we might be on the same page.
We'll see when I drop it, but I have to get it out there. Like I said, I love AEW just as much as you guys. I know you guys love AEW, and I'm right there on the same ship with you guys. But, you know, Hutch, me and you, we do commentary, which means we listen to it differently now that we've started doing it for it's been almost a year. You know, in a few months it'll be a year. So we listen to it differently. I know I've heard you talk about that on Podcast Pass, that you listen to it differently as a commentator. You're the cornerstone of commentary.
It's kind of what I do.
Exactly, it's what you do, man. But I got a huge bitch, man, and I hope that the household doesn't shun me for this because you never really speak ill of a legend, but I gotta call it like I see it, man, and I'm just gonna put it right out here right now and not build it up anymore. JR ain't working for me, y'all. JR is not working for me. The legend, I know, guys, out there in the 14 different countries across these great United States and right here in Indiana, I know it's JR. Good old JR, Jim Ross. But guys, let me just give me a second here real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and let Hutch, you know, rebuttal if he chooses to, and same thing with Drake. But I was watching this past episode of AEW. Shout out to Drake for giving me access to watching it. And one thing that I noticed on commentary throughout this show, and I've noticed it on multiple different episodes, JR just sounds lazy. Like he'd rather be anywhere else but besides that commentary table. He can't get the talent's name right, and for me, this isn't anything that's been taught to me, but I feel like me and Hutch are on the same page on this. If you're doing some sort of a talk show or commentary and you're not getting the talent's name right, you might not think that you are, but dog, you're absolutely burying them because it shows me that you don't even care about who they are. And I love JR, but it seems like he'd rather be anywhere else besides that commentary table, and they're paying him a pretty penny to be there. Hutch, what are you thinking about JR, his spot on commentary? Not who JR was. We know who JR was. I don't want to talk about the legend that is JR. I want to talk about JR here in 2020. What do you think, bro?
Well, here's my thing, man. Before I say a word, I've done commentary a little bit. Yes, I'm the cornerstone of commentary for DCCW and hoping to branch out potentially for other companies. Stay tuned for that in 2020. We're going to see how that goes. We know how the wrestling business is. You never speak in absolutes, but I digress. I cannot speak against, as you said, the legendary name that is Jim Ross. That man was the voice of, my childhood, my teenage years, 20. You know what I mean? Like, he's always been there. He's a staple in wrestling. But that being said, it's almost like, man, when you say, I don't mean any disrespect, usually when you say, I don't mean disrespect, you're about to say some disrespectful shit.
Yeah.
But here it is, man. JR's, enjoying having something to do, and God love him. He's got something to do. He's there for that money. He's getting that money. He's getting that Tony Khan money. Good on him. I ain't even mad. But he does really mess up the names of a lot of the talent.
Yeah.
And it's funny to hear sometimes he gets frustrated at times because he doesn't seem to, I don't want to say he doesn't get what's going on.
Yeah.
But there's times it's like he doesn't seem like he knows what the fuck's going on, and he gets pissed. He gets hot about it.
Yeah.
And like, did you hear where was it? It was Britt Baker, like where he was like, all right, let's cut this off. It was when she was cutting that horrible ass promo on the boat.
Yeah.
And he was just like, all right, let's cut this crap or whatever. Like, he was just done. And like, it wasn't even like one of those like, oh, let's get out of here. She's being disrespectful. Cut it. It was just like, oh my God, I'm tired of this bird balking at me. You know what I mean? It's something what he sounded like. He was just tired of it. He needed a nap. I'm not even trying to be mean, but it's like it's JR's sleepy time.
Man, for real.
If he was being loud on the boat. You know what I mean? Like, rock the boat, baby. Like, yeah, that's right. I couldn't sing it anymore because I don't want to get us pulled. You know what I mean? Because like copyrights and whatnot.
Right.
Tip the boat over. You know what I mean? Like, well, we got that. But anyway, but yeah, like, I'm with you. And you know what I'd say, bro?
What's that?
I say pull JR off commentary. Let him do the talent relations role that he did in WWE.
And he did it really well.
And man, come on, man. Look at the talent that he pulled.
Facts. Oh, yeah.
We were talking about one of them earlier, Brock Lesnar, one of the most legit son of bitches still in the WWE. Anyway, let him do that for AEW. Put Taz back on the main show.
Ooh.
Take him off dark. Put Taz back in the booth. Have Tony Schiavone lead with Taz on collar. And I guess you can keep Excalibur there, too, if you really want to have a 3-man booth.
Sure, yeah. I like that. Man.
That's what...
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's not a bad thought at all, man. That is not bad. Putting Taz in there, I really like that because Taz, when I've heard him on commentary, he sounds like he sounds like SmackDown Taz. He sounds like the same inspired Taz from back then as to where, like I said, I hate to say it, but this is our podcast and we have to put out honest opinions. I'm hearing a listful, lazy, lethargic, so all those L's, Jim Ross, and I hate it. You know what I mean? I hate it because for me, Hutch Drake, when he said Matthew Jacob Friedman, I wanted to throw my phone. I literally wanted to throw my phone. I'm like, this guy is one of the most oversome bitches on the entire roster, and you don't know his name. It drives me nuts, man. I just can't. You know what I mean? How do you not know who MJF is? How do you not know? And MJF was like poking and prodding the commentary team the whole time, and they just didn't even bite back, and that bugged me too. Like, no banter whatsoever between Shivani and JR coming back at MJF. That really bothered me because it's like, this dude is a young punk just straight bearing you guys, and you're just sitting there taking it. Why? Nobody's gonna say anything back to him. I don't know, man. I just don't feel like that would happen. I just don't feel like that would happen with the Jim Ross, King, or Michael Cole and Taz commentary table. And I don't expect them to go into full diatribes and whatnot, but just give it back to him. Let him know you ain't no punk. You know, I don't know. I just where are you at on the whole JR thing, Drake, as far as him just not sounding inspired whatsoever, and just getting the talent's name wrong. Like I said, I feel like he's burying the talent, unintentionally, but he's still doing it. It's still, I mean, just because you don't mean to do it doesn't mean you're not doing it. So I want your thoughts on it, Drake, with the whole JR situation.
My biggest bitch with the whole thing is it seems like any time going into watching an AEW show weekly, I'm almost looking out for what's JR gonna fuck up this week.
Yeah,
which sucks because that's not JR, but it is right now. I wouldn't personally, I don't think it's uninspired sounding. I was like, but it has to come from some place of being uninspired if you get Maxwell Jacob Friedman's name wrong.
Thanks.
One of your the top heel in your company.
Yeah.
Next to Jericho, of course, but that's an arguable subject. But yeah, it's always just little shit that seems like, oh really, like was it last week when the Bucks super kicked MJF, he called it what did he say?
Sweet chin music.
Yeah, he called it sweet chin music, and oh man, Mike, we were watching together, correct?
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah, I believe we both cringed, like, at the exact moment we heard that and looked at each other and just knew the internet was, like, it was over for JR.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks. It's a shitty situation. I love JR, but it just seems like he just needs to turn it up a notch or two or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Either do that or give it to somebody that's hungry for that spot. Maybe the cornerstone of commentary. You could jump on there and do that night. You do that little AEW gig. God, Hutch, you can't be any worse than that one guy they brought in late last year. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he was so bad.
It was the worst. The worst.
Oof. I don't think we've seen that guy back since, have we?
I don't believe so.
He did something with AEW. I don't know if it was I don't know if it's their podcast they do or something like that, and they tried to bring him in, and but I just know I think that me and you, Hutch, I think that we kind of give people a chance. Like, even if they're bad, like, we'll be like, maybe they'll do better. That guy was just the drizzling shits. He just was, bro. Like, I remember seeing that, and me and you both were like, God, give us that chance. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh my God. Like, it was painful to watch. I'm sitting there just going, fucking speak, man. Like, I'm sitting there, like I'm just like, man, like, you have this chance, and you're just sitting there just like, they're trying to volley, like, give you guys, they're like throwing softballs at you, and you're over here just like, him. He hit him there, and dig it.
Dude.
And then I'm sitting there going, fucking speak, you son of a bitch.
For real, because that legit made me angry, because I'm thinking to myself, give me that spot. Give Hutch that spot. And see how we totally, they want us back. They would want us back, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude, I would have made everything, because I at least would have said some funny-ass line that would have been going all around Twitter or whatever, because I'm like, you have one shot, you have one opportunity, and you go up there and you fucking mumble.
Ugh. Oh, that burned me, man. That really, really burned me. We won't go too much into that, but too much more, but no, man, JR, like I said, I totally agree with what you were saying there, Hutch, and I would give it, give that spot to Taz. I mean, Taz still feels fresh. He still feels hungry. He still sounds hungry. Like, I really like what he's doing. And like, to follow him on his social media and see just how excited dude is to be part of AEW. It feels good. It feels right, man. Like, Taz is inspired again, bro. And I'll say this, and then I'll let Hutch speak on it, because I know he's kind of that for you too. Taz is probably the main influence for why we're doing this right now, bro.
It is, and I believe we've said this on here before, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
we've had to have, but I mean, in case you guys didn't know, but yeah, like, I was a huge fan of Taz. You know, in the ring, his promos, his commentary, like, just his vibe, man. Again, I always dug him, and then he did his podcast, and I loved his podcast, and I've been telling Khan, I was like, Khan, bro, you need to listen to his podcast,
Yep.
Taz Show. It's awesome. Watch, listen to this shit. Watch it if you can.
Yep.
And yeah, and then you finally did, and then all of a sudden you was like, man, I want to do my own podcast, man. And like then we're like, no, we better not hack Taz.
You know, choke us out, bro.
Yeah, it'll choke us out. You know, and how ironic would that be?
I you know what? He could choke me out, and I'd wear it as a badge of honor, bro.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it.
If I survived it.
Yeah, if he lets you.
Yeah. Facts, bro. But
Yowie wowie!
But no, man. I agree with you there. But let's talk a little bit about the show itself, because I had to get that bitch out of the way. And I want to talk about real quick, how badass does freaking Moxley look with that eye patch, man? I am loving it, Hutch.
Yeah, like I got kind of a like a Metal Gear vibe.
Yeah.
And I shared a picture on Twitter. It was because who was it? Big Hurt like tweeted out like, I made you like a pirate or whatever, right? So I tweeted a picture of that motherfucker in with his like face in the SpongeBob pirate picture. You know, the little pirate that pops up at the beginning of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Patchy the pirate.
There you go, Patchy the pirate. There you go. Yep.
Man, I already thought like Mox looked like a badass, but like the eye patch just takes it to a whole nother level. He's ready to call out, Jericho. Jericho's coming out. Cleveland is once again singing his song, and man, how much of a GOAT, Drake, do you have to be to come out at the company that you helped build with your AEW championship, everybody singing your song that you did yourself on your boat? I'm talking last week. Like, how much GOAT status is that, Drake, man? That was just so dope to see that moment and view that moment. And man, Jericho's just a GOAT, man. What was you thinking when you saw that real quick, Drake?
Oh, man, the dude's a rock star. Just
Yeah.
What it showed. It's like, man, fuck being the GOAT, great, whatever. That dude's a rock star. Like, that was, you could see it in his face. It looked like, I don't know, he's like the Gene Simmons of wrestling. It's so funky. I love Chris Jericho and everything he does. He's gold.
Oh, yes, he is. To see where he's at right now, man, and like, I just remember watching, I was watching Chris Jericho in the WCW Cruiserweight division, and to see what he's become now, I mean, through the years, and I mean, of course, his debut with WWE, all his multiple title runs there in WWE, you know, I mean, everything that he's done, moving over to New Japan Pro Wrestling, then eventually going to AEW, and everything that he's done. And remember, he was off for quite a number of years. I don't remember the number right off the top of my head. I think it was 2 or 3, maybe more than that. Correct me on that, household. But he was out for a while, and then to see him come back and just kill it and be one of the greatest of all time is just completely nuts. So he comes out. He's basically saying, yeah, I didn't come by myself. Moxley wanted a one-on-one, but not only did Moxley bring the inner circle, but this dude brought 5 more motherfuckers with him to take on Moxley. And Hutch, when you saw that, what was you thinking, bro?
I absolutely loved it, man. I mean, that's just that's legend shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I mean that needs to be a thing, and I think it will be.
How he gonna
Going
bring?
forward.
How we gonna bring all the extra homies though, bro? And Moxley, being the guy that he is, he just came for the smoke straight up. What was you thinking about that, Drake?
It was good shit. It was exactly what you'd expect out of Moxley, nothing less. The only thing I half expect him to do was really take it out to the crowd and start making the crowd join in the fight with him.
Yeah, because he said the whole crowd was in his squad.
Yeah, and they
were.
were.
It was out there in Ohio where he's from, so.
True.
So I think it made for a good segment. Now, one thing that I really wanted to talk about, just nice little touches that AEW does that I like. You've heard me bitch about the JR thing. Now I'm going to talk about what I like, and that's this little backstage, or not backstage segment. I don't want to say backstage because it wasn't backstage. It took place in like, where the Butcher and the Blade, I guess it's their shoot job. I don't know, I guess, but they were back there cutting, chopping, and in comes MJF. And his homie, Wardlow, came in. This dude has, straight mafia style. That's what I really liked about it. It was mafia style, Hutch. He comes in here with like a envelope, and it's full of straight cold cash with the Young Bucks name on it. Gives it to the Butcher, the Bunny, and the Blade, who are in their, like, I guess, shoot job clothes, and then they look down at the envelope, come back up, and they're in their wrestling gear, which I thought was fucking dope. I don't know where you were at with it, Hutch. Where were you at on that little small segment?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it. It was it was a cool vibe.
Yeah,
and
the camera was dope on it.
It was shot well, and I'm always cool with seeing Allie and the Bunny gimmick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the way it was shot, and it was a good lead into the match. It wasn't just like, oh, we're having this match just to have this match, but it's kind of like, oh, here we go. This is kind of why we're having it. It's little touches like that is like one of the things that AEW continues to do right. And again, the production value on this was way better than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And it almost had like a filter, like I felt like it was like on the set of the movie Saw.
Yeah.
It is kind of was kind of the vibe that I got with it. Yeah. And just their look anyway. I love everything about that team. I just wish they can get more wins and shit.
Yeah, for sure, because they're taking an awful lot of L's right out of the gate. Like, they were supposed to be, commentary was building them up as like mercenaries, to go in there and do the job that MJF paid them to do. Because MJF, let's face it, MJF is a boss, but if they start taking so much losses, why should I believe that they could do anything to anybody? You know what I mean? Where were you at on the Butcher and the Blade taking another loss there, Drake?
I'd really like to see him come out with more wins, make them look way better. I think they look great. They wrestle really well. Andy's a badass. I love that cat. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just, for being hired guns, they're pretty shitty hired guns. If you want them to win.
Facts, bro. Facts.
But yeah, get them a decent win streak going, and they look like some really legit mercenaries, I'd say.
I agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. There's got to be something that they could do, because if they've got to start racking up some W's. Period. I mean, that's it. They got to start racking up some W's. I'm not really sure where I'm at with Paige and Kenny Omega being the tag champs right now after taking it off SCU, which they had a great run, but I'm not for sure. Like I said, I'm not for sure, because of course they're the Elite, they're doing their thing together, but still, it's just it feels like with them only being your second tag team champions ever. I mean, we're talking about a stacked roster of tag teams. You got hella tag teams, and you put that team and make them your tag champs. I'm just not sure. I'm going to see where it goes, of course. Absolutely, I'm going to see where it goes, but I'm just not too sure about it. We haven't got a chance to really talk about that, so this is going to be my first thoughts from Hutch. What are you thinking about, the other two members of the Elite, Adam Page, Hangman Page, and Kenny Omega, who's booked himself really weird since the conception of AEW? Where are you at with them being the tag champs?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. I love what they're doing with Adam Page. And because like he's that guy that's like everybody thinks, oh, he's the funny guy, he's the party guy, but he's starting to kind of rub everybody the wrong way a little bit, and people's going to start getting tired of it.
Yeah.
And what it's going to boil down to, and I know Drake and I have kind of talked about this as we've seen, this progress, that they're going to do this alcoholism storyline with him.
Yeah.
And they're going to it's probably going to end up being a fucking intervention. And it's not going to be like cheeky. They're going to try to probably do it in a serious way. And that's going to be tough for them to do if they actually attempt to pull the trigger on that.
Definitely going to be tough.
But as it stands right now, I love it. Like they did a segment this week where like they were back in, I guess, like the locker room or whatever. It was Matt and Nick, and then there was Kenny Omega. And then here comes Adam Page sauntering over with his party shirt on and his alcohol in his hand. And he's like, hey, Matt, here, I got a nameplate here for you. And, because there's a nameplate that goes on the titles. He's like, says your name on it. You may need it one day. And he's like, best champs in the world. And he just steps off.
Why he so drunk?
Why are you so drunk, though? But I gotta sprinkle in another moment that I saw, and Drake is gonna love this because it involves his boy, Joey Janela.
Oh yeah.
That moment where he popped up in the crowd. Did you see that shit with who was it?
Super bad. Kip Sabian and
Sabian and Penelope Ford. Yeah. And what popped me was, like, of course, his face, all that shit. But when he, backed off into the crowd, he was giving them both the finger when he did it.
He was.
That shit popped the fuck out of me.
That was hilarious, bro.
And I'm like, damn it, I'm going to end up liking this guy yet. And I kind of do already.
That was a funny moment, man. That was a funny moment. And jumping back to there, now, Cody, who just devastated him with 3 crossroads. Now he's got to take 10 lashes next week.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I haven't seen that in a while.
It's been quiet. I can't even remember the last time they've done it, bro.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen anything like that. So, and I bet it's going to be nasty.
Oh yeah, they're probably, and you know how Cody is. Cody is going to be just beat the shit out of me, because anytime Cody is involved in the storyline, he always takes some crazy shit to help move the story along. You know what I mean? We've seen it. We've seen it with the chair shot. We've from Sean Spears, which where the hell's Sean Spears been? But we've seen it. We've seen it with him taking that crazy dive outside and just busting up. We've seen it so many times already from Cody. You just know he's gonna make this lashing look good. So where were you at? Drake, with Cody Rhodes? He's taking these lashings, but he had a pretty decent match with Kip Sabian.
Yeah, the match was really good. I really liked that final intensity out of Cody. Through the finish with, he gave him the single crossroad, and that should have been it, but
yeah,
letting out that extra 2 with that, showing that aggression, and the commentary team I thought did a good, we were sitting there talking negative, supposed to say positive,
Yeah,
the commentary team was really building it up, saying, he's sending MJF a message. That's what you got coming to you. You're going to take all this stuff. All these stipulations, he's going through with it, but this is what you have to think about while he's doing it and all this shit. But it was really good. I liked that extra aggression out of Cody. Was wonderful. I mean, I'm only 23, so I don't think within my time of being alive they've done lashing somebody on major television. I've seen it, looking back into old school wrestling, but
sure.
I'm excited to see what they do with it and see the spin the AEW will twist and how far MJF will take it.
Oh, that's definitely going to be interesting for sure. So
all I want to know, I have one question.
Oh, sure.
Is it going to be a Burberry strap?
Yowie wowie!
That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I would like it to be a Burberry
If it happens, I called it here.
Oh, man, guys. You guys heard it here first from Hutch. If it's a Burberry strap, come back and listen to this episode because Hutch would have been right. That would definitely be crazy. But, so moving right along to SCU, and I guess Hybrid 2 is what Evans and Angelico are calling themselves, Jack Evans. And, SCU comes out with the Kobe jerseys. We're not even going to get into all that right now. It's just that's way too much to dig into. But it was a great tribute. Of course, they're from Southern California, such as myself, so it was nice to see them do it. But I don't want to talk so much about the match. I want to talk about the aftermath of the match. And I'm going to definitely let Hutch jump into that because he signed up for, join Dark Order. So what was you thinking about that Dark Order segment still trying to come after Daniels, man?
I dig it. It gives them something to do.
Yeah.
And the production value on it looked good. Like, that was like, you can tell it was like on high quality camera and all that shit.
Yeah.
And, and I love the whole little snap into the website plug.
Yeah,
and all
that was dope.
Still representing the Exalted One because I'm not sure if they already know who that's going to be or if they're just going to fill that in later. I'm very curious on that, but yeah, I dig it, and I still say Dark Order still needs their star.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's going to come with whoever this Exalted One is. I do believe that. And a lot of people saying Matt Hardy. I think that could be cool.
That'd be dope.
But we'll have to see how that goes. But again, I'm still with it. I'm still waiting on my response from joining the Dark Order. I know Drake joined as well. I'm not sure if he's gotten any word from them or not. I haven't. But I guess we'll see how that goes as well. But as far as the segment, yeah, like you said, it was dope that SCU did the dedication to Kobe Bryant. I don't want to get into that either because that's way too heavy. But yeah, it was good, man. It was a cool segment, and it moved things along, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Absolutely. Great analysis from the Cornerstone of commentary. But now I'm going to give reporter Drake Kennedy a chance to close it out before we take it to break and come back and have a short little conversation with the Liverpool lip, Earl Joseph. So, Drake, what was you thinking about the main event? Private Party and Darby Allin going up against the Inner Circle, Santana Ortiz, and Chris Jericho. What was you thinking about that match, man?
Oh, it was a killer. It was an awesome 6-man tag main event. Darby's fucking over. That's like the biggest thing I get out of it every week. That kid's on TV. The crowd is more nuts for him.
Yeah.
And I love to see it.
Yeah.
It was an odd pairing with Private Party, I thought, but it was really cool to see, dark little goth emo Darby Allin with the Party Boys, and they're sitting there hyping him up and being hyped the whole match. Is awesome. It was great. I love it. I love their tag division so much.
It's such a good tag division, bro. Such a good tag division. We end up with a Judas effect. Jericho wins. They're attacking Darby Allin. It is what it is. We see Moxley come out and make the save to end the show. Feel good, send the crowd home happy. Moxley on top, and it kind of was what it was. I don't know if you have anything that you want to add to it, Hutch, but if not, we'll just move right along.
The only thing I got to say on it is I don't think they would have let Darby Allin in that club. Is all I'm saying. Darby Allin's got a cool vibe. I just don't think they would let him in the Private Party club. But
I don't think so either.
But again, I love everything that Darby Allin does. Just to kind of echo what Drake said, Darby Allin is a star.
Yeah.
Like, Darby Allin is over as fuck. And the day, that man is going to be AEW champion one day. And when that happens, that is when he will become a mega star because the people want it. I just hope they don't wait and do what WWE always does. Wait until it's too late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've seen that many a time.
But I think they're going to present their title different, man. I don't think you're going to see a lot of title changes in AEW.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to, they're going to, I don't want to say they're going to hack New Japan, but I do think they're going to do kind of like how New Japan does with their title reigns and shit. They're going to make them actually mean something. That way, that when the title change happens, it means something.
Yeah, exactly. Lengthy, meaningful title reigns.
Yep. So, yeah, that's basically it on that. Like I said, I don't want to go too much in it. Again, it was a great match. Obviously, with the talent involved, it was going to be. And I love the Judas effect is growing on me more and more.
Yeah.
It's 100%, like they said, 100% effective every time.
Oh, yeah, and I just love Jericho recreating himself, man. I mean, he could always go back to the walls of Jericho. He could always go back to the code breaker. But the man's just not lazy. He's never resting on his laurels. It's just great to see that even at his age, he's still changing and doing different things.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And, I know we kind of said some stuff about JR, but he did have an excellent line for Jericho.
Yeah.
I believe he referred to Jericho as the Reverend of Reinvention.
Ooh, I like that. Yep, that's good. So good.
And I'm like, holy hell, that fits like a glove. And seeing that, and that's where I'm thinking, God damn it, JR is good. Still. You know what I mean? Like, he's still good. And I guarantee you, he just threw that out there. That was just a line that randomly popped in his head, but it just fit Jericho perfectly. And so, again, it's just go back on the thing with JR. It's just frustrating. Because like I go back to our aforementioned conversation that we had about him, and then he comes in with that. But yes, the Judas effect, they protect that finisher, and I love that. And I just love everything Jericho's been doing.
I agree with that. It made for another good episode of AEW. They're still winning in the ratings war. If that's something that you care about, if not, then just enjoy wrestling for what it is. It was a good episode, whether they would have won or not. So if you enjoy following the ratings war, awesome, no problem here. If you don't, you just want to enjoy wrestling, just do that. That's what we do here at In Your House. We just want you guys to enjoy yourselves. Just enjoy wrestling. Let's all be civil with each other as far as what we like and what we don't like. But let's just enjoy wrestling, period. So now, guys, we're going to take a little pause for the cause. And when we come back, we're going to have a short interview with the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph, who's got a lot of cool things going on. Hey guys, this is the director, Con House, of In Your House, and this episode is sponsored by Podcorn. Podcorn is a marketplace connecting podcasters to amazing podcast sponsorship opportunities such as host read ads, interview segments, topical discussions, and more. With Podcorn, there is no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on the platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without any exclusivities. You never give up any rights to your podcast, and Podcorn is here to support you at every step to ensure you're protected and compensated for the work that you do for brands. The marketplace mission is to give podcasters transparency, creative control, and freedom, and full control of how and when they monetize. So check the show notes on this episode and you will see a link to www.podcorn.com/podcasters. But now it's time to get back to In Your House. Welcome back, guys, to In Your House, hosted by the director, Con House, the cornerstone of commentary, Mikey Hutch, and reporter Drake Kennedy. And Hutch, as advertised, we brought in one of our good friends here to the show, man.
Yes, we did. Our homie from across the pond, the legendary Liverpool Lavender Pants, is here.
Yes, man, and that is the Liverpool Lip, Earl Joseph. How's it going, bro?
Hey, what's up? Hello, Con. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Drake. Sorry to disappoint you in advance, but I'm wearing lime green shorts as I talk to you. Maybe that's another gimmick angle I can explore in the future. But for now, I'm just being dead lazy.
You're forever lavender pants to me, bro.
Oh man,
you gotta get over somehow, right?
Exactly. If it's not broke, don't fix it, homie.
Facts, man, facts. And man, speaking of things that's not broken, doesn't need fixing, let's talk about Liverpool Lip's career, which is really starting to take off, man. You got a lot of cool things going on and moving in the works, man. So why don't you tell the household a little bit about what you got going on? Because man, you are really got your hands in a whole lot of different things going on right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm burning my fingers in all these pies at the moment, boys, I have to say. I'm just come off doing Shattered Reality with Upstart Pro, which was a great time. You know, we had a big full house for that, sold out crowd.
Nice.
Went really well, you know. And we've also, with Upstart, we've got the Dynamic Duo Invitational Tag Team Tournament going on February 29th again at Christian Park Activity Centre. That's still a whole month away, but there's still a lot to explore with that, a lot to push. You know, a lot of surprises still to come, so it's always worth keeping your eye on Upstart. We're also at Upstart doing a weekly show, the Upstart Pro Review, that goes out exclusively on Facebook every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm almost certain that you three have caught the last two episodes, the first two episodes, and you know, already from show 2 to show 1, the improvement was exponential. It was, and it's great fun to be a part of. You know, there's a good team at Upstart, and you talk about a promotion that's worth keeping your eye on in 2020. And I think this is one of certainly the top 3 in the state that you want to keep an eye out for. But of course, Con, as you well know, we've got a big day coming up Saturday. Talking New Wave Pro Battle Lines at Terre Haute National Guard Armory. Man, I mean, I've been going crazy about this show. Anyone who follows me on social media knows I'm more than up for it. As well as doing backstage correspondence, just speaking for myself, I'll also be taking my first bow as the managerial consultant at New Wave Pro.
Oh, man, yes, and that's going to be amazing. Now you don't have to worry about getting pushed around and tossed around by Justin Kyle anymore, bro.
No, I can just save that for friends and family outside of wrestling to push me around and treat me like shit, you know? Fine, that's why I slipped so easy into wrestling. Not much is different. Everyone just treats me like dirt, you know? I'm just a poor boy when it comes down to it. No, you're right. Actually, as managerial consultant, you know, I'm not going to have people coming up to me and you know, using my good name to get themselves out there and then think they can slap me in the chest or ruffle my hair or push me into railings. You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to lay down the law, but there's going to be a little difference, and people, they already do listen to me, but now they must understand that, you know, what they say to me and the things they come to me with, they really matter this time. And as I said when I was unveiled by New Wave on their YouTube channel, I said, if you have a problem, then come to me. Conversely, if you want a problem, then come to me as well. The office door is always open.
Oh yes, man. And I want to talk real quick about that YouTube video when it dropped, man. And they put it on the New Wave Pro Facebook page, man. The response was crazy. So many shares, so many congratulations, man. And for your young career, I mean, me, you, Hutch, we unintentionally didn't really know that we were all kind of breaking in at the same time. But to see the response that you had received for this pretty much step up in your career, man, what was that like, just seeing everybody share it, congratulate you, give you that love? What was that like for you, man?
I mean, you've probably answered the question for yourself, and anybody listening will probably say the same thing. It's great, you know. It's nice to have a lot of support and already a lot of respect from people who have been in this business far longer than I ever have. And to have people come up to me and give me the compliments that they do and the advice that they do, of course, which is extremely important, has been fantastic. And Con, you touched upon an important point there when you said about coming up together, you know, and it's something that you and I actually talked about only earlier this afternoon, where I said it's good to see friends that I've made already in such a short space of time come on in leaps and bounds. You know, I'm talking about the original Sins, Taylor Myers, Nashay Laveau, yourself, of course. And it's good to see, you know, of course, I'm happy for myself, but I'm also happy for the wider circle of people that I count as my friends, and also people just generally in wrestling in Indiana and the Midwest. 2020 is exciting for me and everybody else.
Oh yes, it's there's a lot of cool things going on here, man. As far as the Indiana professional wrestling scene, a good group of people coming up, and Hutch and hopefully even Drake's gonna be there on Saturday. So I'm gonna throw it to Hutch real quick. Hutch, man, you're gonna be there. This is gonna be your first glance at New Wave, and hopefully we can get you doing more stuff, but this is going to be your first glance coming and showing up. What are you expecting, and like as far as the success that Earl is having, where are you at on that, and do you have any questions for Earl about his career and just the shoot up and success that he's had?
Well, I mean, again, I can first off, I can say again, first off, thank you for being on the show. Again, appreciate you taking the time. And again, I can relate to, you know, like how quickly, you know, because like you've really just kind of blown up a lot. I was actually talking to Con about how it's like, my God, I see Con's face all over Facebook all the time. Yours is another one that I see on Facebook a lot now. Like you're everywhere, man, and it's a crazy feeling. And again, we kind of got that similar thing going on with our show that we've done here. But I mean, it's. Like, where do you see yourself? Like, I mean, do you see yourself like eventually like touring across like the Midwest and like maybe even like the United States doing these kind of things, or like, I mean, is the sky the limit for you? Where do you see yourself going, man?
Well, I mean, my more immediate thoughts on that are that, you know, you're right. My sort of my rise, if you can call it that. I am loath to call it that, but nonetheless, my appearance in Indiana wrestling over the last 10 months has given me a lot of pause for thought. But it's also making me think about the future. I'm already thinking, you know, I'm buying new outfits for shows. I'm already thinking about new phrases and quotes. I'm already looking at new sources of inspiration, different books, different people. Not necessarily involved in wrestling, you know, authors, musicians, other writers as well. Just looking for a new angle, always looking for the new way to keep Earl Joseph fresh, to keep me up for the fight, up for the cup, as we say back in England. Well, the grand plan in the future. I mean, ultimately, yes. Wherever it may take me, then I'm happy to go with it, because that's been the philosophy so far, and it's taken me to fantastic places. I'm just trying to keep feet on the ground, obviously, and look into the short-term future. Saturday, you know, is a big day. It's a big benchmark for me personally, and I'm already thinking about how I can freshen things up for Earl Joseph and to help the people I'm involved with. If I end up going all around the United States doing this and becoming popular and changing myself, then more power to it. Although I will say, Hutch, I guess if you're going to New Wave, I guess they'll let anyone in these days. I'm not sure I want to be a part of it anymore.
Yeah, for real, man. They're setting the bar.
Like, I hope you bought a ticket, or you just get in the back door, or what? What's going on there?
Well, I can't get into the details of it. All I'm going to say is I'll be there. So yeah, they're setting the bar.
You're going to be in a laundry hamper wheeled in or something, like Steve McQueen.
Yep, precisely. Like, you get it, bro. You get it.
Oh, man. Oh, it's going to be a great time, man. I'm so excited for Battle Lines. Of course, you guys out there that are going to be checking it out, because we do have a good listening audience there in Terre Haute. Of course, it's grown since the first New Wave show. It's going to be Sefa Fatu, The Problem, going up against my man, the right hand of God, Sam Knight, for the NWP Championship. That's going to be great. And hopefully we have reporter Drake Kennedy out there. So I'm going to throw it to him because he's just been kind of sitting there listening for a little bit. Now I want to give him a chance to really ask anything that he wants to ask to Earl Joseph, because the rise that you're having, man, and I have another question for you too, because the hard work that you put in is a result. That's what's got you this far. But I'm gonna throw it to Drake, and if you're able to make it Saturday, we hope that you are, man. What are you looking forward to seeing from Earl Joseph, and what questions do you have for him?
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm excited to see Earl again. For one, it'll be great to see him. I love seeing him work. I'm excited to see Sam Knight. I'm excited for to see a new promotion that I haven't ever been to before. Yeah. Support local indie wrestling. I'm just really excited. If I could ask one question for Earl, what could it be? I'll start.
All right, is this your girlfriend going to ask if I'm single again, Drake?
She's
like on the last show.
She's sitting right here, gushing, just thinking about you, Earl.
It's got to be the.
It's not the right word. It's not the word I would have used, Drake.
Hold on. Time out. Are we about to have another cuck storyline here? I can't take another one of those.
Oh God! You can't say that while I'm drinking water, bro.
Yowie wowie!
Oh my gosh! Oh man! No.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I had that prepared before I came on. I thought as soon as Drake said something, I'm just going to throw that line at him. So I just had to get that on the books. All right.
Go ahead, Drake. Go ahead, man.
Well, Earl, I was gonna originally ask you if I could help choose the color pants you were gonna wear on Saturday, but I'm gonna change my answer to, can you cuck my girlfriend for me?
Drake, all I can say is the digital age means that everything we say and write is now etched in stone forever, much like that last sentence you just said.
Yeah, I've said worse.
The answer to your original question, I already have. I have some new pants to debut. All right, new color.
Oh shit!
New color, new design. I even bought them from a new store. Like I said, Earl Joseph is always changing, always looking for that new hook. So Saturday is going to see new pants, new shirt.
Just new.
Yeah, just brand new all over. You got to keep people guessing, and you got to leave them wanting more. So.
Absolutely, man. Great point by Earl Joseph. So the last thing I want to ask you here before we call this a really great episode, because we really got a chance to ask you a lot of the stuff we wanted to ask you the last time that we had you, but this was kind of before when we got you on the show. This was before everything had blown up the way that it is. So now, Earl, you're doing, you're doing great work with Upstart Pro. You're doing fantastic work with New Wave, DCCW. It's been great. Like, your work ethic, man. Like I kind of alluded to before we threw it to Drake. Your work ethic has just been amazing, and definitely from my perspective, seeing you and knowing you as well as I do, which has been great to know you, but. Like, what this success, what do you really credit it to, man? Is it the hard work? Is it the hunger to want to be great? And what drives you to because like Hutch said, like he alluded to, I'm seeing you so much on Facebook. I'm starting to see you a lot on Twitter now, and you're getting your face out there with different promotions, which, let's face it, guys, that's the name of the game. Promotion. Get your face out there. What do you credit all this success to, man?
I think a few things. One is the indelibly unescapable factor of my accent, and my background and where I'm from, which, of course, in Indiana, in Indianapolis, I stand out like nobody's business here, and I can use that to my advantage. Secondly, it's about having the wherewithal, the wits to be able to use that to your advantage in the first place.
Yeah.
Thirdly, I don't know if thirdly is a real word, but we're going with it. Thirdly, I do, as you say, I like yourself, like every other person, every other man and woman on this scene, I put in a lot of work. I'm always thinking about this stuff. I wake up in the morning and I look at the different promotions, Facebook pages, and I'm in the chats, and I'm writing notes down, and I'm watching wrestling on TV. And again, I'm always turning over the ideas in my mind and always thinking about what's next. And talking to my wife and saying, "Oh, what if I did this?" And she's like, "It's 4 a.m. Please shut the fuck up," And it's just the constant drive to it. I was also very lucky, as I would have said on the last time I was on In Your House, that I had a period where I could not work. I had to wait for my green card from the government, and it allowed me to put a lot of time, frankly, that others may not have been fortunate enough to have, into development, into being able to put time into starting the weekly shows at WCWO. And it's all come together. It's been a real, I say happy accident, but that may almost demean it. It's just been a very good set of factors and coincidences and fortune, and also mixed in with ability and just ambition. I just want to get out there and I want to have a good time. I want to do well for myself and I want to do well for everybody else. Perfect storm.
I see that, man. I see that. And that's why, and we've talked about it like off air, there's just certain people that you stick to because you have those similarities, that hard work, that motivation. And that's the same with me, man. I'm always thinking, always forward thinking about how I can develop myself. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. And when I met you, man, I just knew that you were somebody that I was going to stick to. And that's happened. That's exactly what's happened. And to sit up here and watch from my perspective, kind of from outside the window, I feel like I'm kind of in there with you because like we've alluded to, we've kind of jumped in at the same time and met each other at DCCW, and then we've kind of stick to each other. But even from kind of looking out the window, man, seeing your success, it's so satisfying for me because knowing you and knowing that the work that you put in and knowing just how crazy you are about this, it's satisfying for me because it's so well deserved and so well earned, bro. So I'm enjoying it. I hope it doesn't stop. I hope you just shoot right through the roof, the sky, the moon, everything, man, because everything that you've got coming to you and that's already happened, it's well deserved, man. It really truly is, bro.
Well, I have to say, genuinely, I do appreciate that. It does mean a lot, honestly. And like I say, some of the nice things people have said about me and the advice and the way they've pushed me into certain scenarios has been really edifying. And I'm, one of the double-edged sword of thinking about things all the time is, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will relate, is that, of course, there is a negative side to overthinking. And sometimes you just think that you're going to wake up one day and a squadron of people in balaclavas will be taking you away and going, "Look, you've been found out. The dream's over. See you later." But that's just insecurities. That's just the trepidation that comes with putting yourself out there. If you didn't feel those things, then perhaps it's not genuine. But that's just the other side of it sometimes. But I know in my heart, I have a lot of support, and I have a good circle of people that are there, and I can only keep going. I'm confident in my abilities and my ambition.
And you should be, man, because you're super talented. Everything that you've gotten, you deserve. And I think it's just, the more that you put in the work, the more it's going to come to you. I really think that at some point, Earl Joseph is just going to be, first off, he's going to be a household name in the Indiana wrestling community and in this, in the whole state. But I think I got a feeling it's going to move on beyond that, man, in time, when the time is right. So, man, this is your opportunity once again because we love to do it and we really enjoyed you coming back on the show. It's time for you to plug anything that you want to plug, man. Upcoming appearances, social medias, where people can see you, where they can find Earl Joseph, and just kind of catch up with you and see what you're doing, man. Go ahead and plug it.
Alrighty, well, you can find me on Twitter at the Liverpool Lip. The thing I really want to push right now is New Wave Pros Battle Lines, Saturday, February 1st, National Guard Armory, Terre Haute, Indiana. Con is going to be there with his Talk of Fame that's coming for the first time and definitely not the last. He's got a Big T as his guest there. We've also got Sam Knight versus Sefar Fatu, the son of Rikishi, who's in the WWE Hall of Fame. That's for the NWP Championship. We've also got a 5-way for the Ultra Rapid Championship. We got Nate Matthews coming for the first time to Terre Haute. The Deal, Adam Slade, Taylor Myers, and Johnny Echo looking to depose the current champion, Aaron Atlas. We've also got a ton of other matches. It's going to be, I mean, Con, you will have pushed it. People who follow us on social media will have seen it, but I'm confident in saying this is probably going to set a big benchmark for Indiana wrestling in 2020. Saturday, February 1st at the Terre Haute National Guard Armory. After that, you're looking at the Upstart Pros Dynamic Duo Invitational Tag Team Tournament. We've got Original Sins. We've got Knockout Society. We've got Sam Knight and Tane Latu competing as well. So that's going to be heavy hitting. It's 3-hour tournaments, all tag matches. The winner gets a big fucking trophy. Now that's a technical term. Like sort of Stanley Cup size of trophy. It's going to be pretty wild. And as well, just finally, Upstart Pro Review every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook. We've got different guests every week. It's a great new magazine show, and it's certainly unique in the local area at the moment for what it's trying to do and for the style that we're trying to present. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
Oh man, I can tell that, man. And just keep pushing, keep grinding, man, because if you keep chipping away, you're gonna strike gold. And I think in a way you already have, because for me, man, if you're enjoying what you're doing and you're feeling fulfillment out of it, you've already struck gold. So man, thanks so much for coming on once again. As I told you last time, you're always welcome on here to come and chat with us again, man. And I guess I'll see you Saturday, man, and we're going to have a great day, bro.
Yeah, thank you to all three. I can't wait to see all three of you on Saturday. Like I say, if you're listening, Battle Lines New Wave Pro, Saturday, February 1st. If you're not there, then I may think less of you. What the hell?
Yes, man, yes. So you know what time it is. It's time for us to go down the line here. Drake, you know what time it is, man. Pull up that old Twitter and let them know, because you got to let them know where they can find you at. So, reporter Drake Kennedy, go ahead and plug it.
Yeah, you guys can catch me on Twitter. You can follow me at Drake Reports IYH. You can catch me there and talk to me about wrestling or music or whatever, anything, pretty much. Yeah.
Great. And that is reporter Drake Kennedy. Moving right along to the cornerstone of commentary, Mikey Hutch. Go ahead, bro, and plug it.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm actually going to change it up a little bit. I've kind of stopped the Instagram thing. I can't even tell you the last time I posted on there. So I really don't see a reason to plug that here. So I'll just go ahead and move right on to the Twitter. And you can follow me there at Hutch IYH. Give me a follow, and I'm pretty active on there, mainly about wrestling, but usually just kind of whatever's going on.
Sure.
And as far as wrestling goes, man, it's been a while since I've done this. I wonder if I still got it.
Let's see.
All right, we're gonna give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. All right. Well, regardless if it's WWE or AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact, DCCW, New Wave, Pro Wrestling, doesn't matter what you cheer, what you boo. We are wrestling. We are Legion, and I don't give a damn if the Dark Order said it. I said it first. We are one. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much to Earl Joseph for coming on the show. Check out New Wave. It's going down this Saturday. It's going to be amazing. And thank you very much for being patient with us on our hiatus. And we're back, guys. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.
We are one, and we are back, absolutely. But that is one of the great slogans from the cornerstone of commentary, Mikey Hutch. Guys, thanks to Earl Joseph once again, my boy, coming on Liverpool lip. Guys, you know what we do. We hit them every single time with that work. So let me let you guys know who you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Check us out. February 1st, New Wave Pro, Battle Lines, The Problem. Sefar Fatu is going up against the right hand of God, Sam Knight for the NWP championship. Guys, what are you doing? Buy a freaking shirt. That's www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. We got a new shirt for you. The director is in the house. Get this work. Get this shirt. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.